So, welcome back to day three of your stress reset journey. One of the things that I want to talk about in today's session was actually that I may actually hear some of you saying things like, okay, Faith, I hear you. I've done the exercise that you've told me about, the one where you listen for the further sound, nearer sound, you're rubbing your fingertips together. And then you might ask this question, but how does that help me manage my stress, right? So here's what it is, yeah. If you have ever tried doing something from stress, how do you feel about that? For some of you, you might feel that it's very stressful, to try to churn something or to race against the deadline because your brain is already so triggered by the whole thing, and you are perhaps on the inside. You are either like fluttering away inside, you're going all over the place, you're frantic, you could be panicking, or maybe it can also be that you have that inner voice in you going quite critical of you, like, hurry up, can you do this? No, we have no time now. There's no time. So however your brain communicate to you during stress, it just makes it harder for you to operate further. Okay. So whether that is for your studies or for your work or even in family life, this is what has been making things harder for us. So that's the reason why I've put the exercise inside to help you switch really quickly from being triggered by the stressors in your left brain to having that pause in your brain so you can choose to actually go back to your right brain where all of your innovation, your creativity genius, all the good stuff is over there. In today's session, however, I want to talk about catching the times where you feel stressed. Okay, so I will just say in a nutshell, anytime you feel bad, okay, and whether your bad means that you feel anxious, you're frustrated, you're stressed, angry, disappointed, anytime you don't feel good, you are feeling bad, that is a sign that your left brain is activated and the stress is creeping up already. So even before you can do the exercise from yesterday's reset, you must catch when you are starting to feel that. Okay, for a lot of us, the voice in our head might not be that it's screaming at us. You're feeling all red flag and everything is like, panicking and times 100 intensity. Maybe for you, it's just start as a simple thought as, wow, why did that person do that, huh? You know, or that you read an email and it didn't have such good news, and you go like, how come I write that way? So a lot of times our stresses don't come out huge and triggering just like that. It actually builds up over time. And this is also where, like in modern life, right? If I'm to tell you how it tends to like most of the time, is that maybe today you wake up, you didn't feel good, you feel a bit stiff, you didn't have a good night's sleep, and then as you are in the bathroom and then on the toilet maybe and checking your email, and you notice someone just sent something that you go like, what's that person saying? And then over the day, as you go into work or to your school, you maybe have a meeting with your teacher or with your boss or your teammate. And maybe something didn't go very well, like the discussion didn't go smoothly. There were actually objections raised up during the discussion too. All these things accumulate to your stress. And that's how the whole thing grows and grows and grows. Maybe for many of us, right, we don't actually go to a point where we explode and then we are like, okay, heck with all this thing, and throw the table all over the place and all of that. But it can feel like feeling really jaded of life, feeling exhausted, feeling that you just need to step away from your school life or your work life and feeling that you just cannot take it anymore. It can be a very quiet quitting kind of scenario too. Like you're physically there, but you're not really there as well. These are all symptoms of stress that is building up in us. So today's prompt, right? I want you to think about in when are the times that you feel stressed. You can also replace the word stress with frustrated or anxious or depleted or fatigued. Okay, any of these would work, any of these words work. Okay, so when do you feel stress? In what kind of scenarios or with what kind of people do these things comes up for you? And like I said earlier, the better you are at catching this, the quicker you are to take back control for your own life. Okay, I'll talk more about that during tomorrow's reset. But just answer this prompt. So when and how and with whom have you ever feel that your stress is being triggered by that?